From that day on, Yu Yongqi never returned to school. Zhao Xiaoqi followed his memory to find her house, only to witness a heart-wrenching scene. The house was in shambles and a drunken man was hurling insults at her mother. It was her alcoholic father. Through the cracked glass, Yu Yongqi saw Zhao Xiaoqi outside the door, her eyes filled with panic, resentment, and the shame of having her messy life exposed. In a tone bordering on anger, she told him to leave. This time she vanished completely. Her departure was marked only by a cold, distant phone call.
Oh, Guangxiang, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Hello.
The busy signal on the other end was like a sharp blade, instantly severing the spark of love that had just ignited in Zhao Xiaoqi's heart. Yu Yongqi's departure made him realize that the reason she kept transferring schools was to escape the nightmare of her family of origin. Adolescent feelings spark for no reason and vanish without warning. The summer Yu Yongqi left, it felt as if a part of Zhao Xiaoqi's youth died with her forever. Time flies, and in the blink of an eye, it was 2008. Having failed the college entrance exam, Zhao Xiaoqi's life seemed to lose its way. He worked as an internet cafe attendant, drifting aimlessly through his days. Until one night, his best friend Zhang Fang showed him photos of pretty girls at his university. A familiar figure struck him like a bolt of lightning. Upon learning that she was a student at that university, Zhao Xiaoqi's long-dormant heart was instantly set ablaze to reunite with her. He resolutely chose to repeat his senior year. He cut the internet cable that had been his companion for years, packed away all his games and tapes, and like a soldier on a mission, he threw himself into a frenzy of studying, pushing himself to the absolute limit. He even labeled everything in the house with English words just to learn the language. Driven by this near-manic perseverance, the following year, he miraculously got into the same university as Yu Yongqi. On the first day of the new semester, Zhao Xiaoqi and Zhang Fang stood at the campus gates, moved to tears of excitement. First thing he did was drag his roommates to that skewer shop called Small Grove, because he firmly believed it was her favorite place, and that they would surely reunite there. There was still no sign of her, as if fate were playing a trick. Just as Zhao Xiaoqi stepped out, he finally spotted that familiar figure. While he was fantasizing about a romantic reunion with Yu Yongqi in his mind, he called out her name in surprise. He imagined them weeping with joy, but in reality, when they actually crossed paths, Yu Yongqi's gaze didn't linger on him for even a second.
Yu Yongqi.
Zhao Xiaoqi. But the joy of reunion was short-lived, followed by the harsh blows of reality. To get one step closer to her, Zhao Xiaoqi joined the women's department club where Yongqi was. He followed her around like a shadow, thinking their story could pick up from here. However, reality dealt him another heavy blow.
Zhao Xiaoqi. I have a boyfriend.
Yongqi's boyfriend was Chen Haoer, the student union president and captain of the football team, a campus heartthrob who seemed to have every accolade. Compared to him, Zhao Xiaoqi paled in significance, and an accident once again tied their fates together. They kindly tried to help a girl whose bag had been snatched, only to realize it was all a scam. The two were taken to the police station as suspected accomplices. This time alone in the detention center gave them a chance to have a deep heart-to-heart talk. Yu Yongqi told him how she met and fell in love with Chen Haoer. When she was most helpless, it was Chen Haoer's appearance that gave her the sense of security she had always lacked.
Oh, Xiaoqiu, I hope we can always be good friends.
The phrase, good friends, felt like a final sentence, causing Zhao Xiaoqi's tears to slide down his face involuntarily. He had worked so hard for so long, only to end up with those few words. From then on, he stopped revolving his life around the pool, instead venting all his grief and anger in the swimming pool. His performance improved by leaps and bounds, even earning the coach's appreciation. But his life had completely lost its direction. It wasn't until Yu Yongqi's birthday that he finally plucked up the courage to give her a call. On the phone, he learned that Yu Yongqi missed out on watching fireworks with her boyfriend due to a cold. While she spoke casually, he took her words to heart. Zhao Xiaoqi made a crazy and romantic decision. He took all his living expenses and on the roof of the school dormitory set off a grand fireworks display just for her. Brilliant fireworks bloomed in the night sky, illuminating everything. Zhao Xiaoqi stood on the rooftop, staring intently toward her window. He spent everything he had just to give her this moment. A romance where she would never know who the protagonist was. In the middle of the crowd, Zhou Xiaoqi shouted happy birthday at the top of his lungs. Upstairs, Yu Yongqi was moved by the spectacle, completely unaware that the boy downstairs who loved her in silence was staging a grand farewell to his own past. A youthful crush is often just like this, grand, lonely, and destined to remain unrequited.
I will become the angel you thought in the fairy tales, spreading my arms like wings to protect you. You must believe that, like in a fairy tale, happiness and joy would be our ending.
But life is always full of twists and turns. Zhou Xiaoqi accidentally discovered in the library that Chen Hao was cheating on Yu Yongqi, planning a trip to Sanya with another girl, and even intending to throw a key football match for this reason. He had once promised Yu Yongqi that if he won the game he would take her to Sanya. Saying that Yu Yongqi was still being kept in the dark by this hypocrite, Zhou Xiaoqi could no longer suppress his anger, and he told her the truth. However, Yu Yongqi chose to believe her boyfriend for various reasons. On the field, in order to expose Chen Hao's lies and to vent his own inner frustration, Zhou Xiaoqi joined the football match himself, even though it wasn't his strength. On the field, he was like a tireless, cornered beast, giving it his absolute all. He could win a match for her, but he couldn't change her heart. After the victory, all his pent-up emotions finally exploded. He rushed forward and punched Chen Hao hard. This time he broke his word, violating the promise he made in high school to never fight again. This punch shattered Chen Hao's facade and completely broke the fragile connection between him and Yu Yongqi. From that day on, they never spoke another word to each other. Just like that, swimming pool disappeared from his life once again. Time flew by, and it was now 2015. They had long since graduated. Zhou Xiaoqi joined the provincial swimming team thanks to his talent at becoming a professional athlete with a wealthy girlfriend named Xiao Wei by his side. His life seemed to be on the right track, yet he always felt an emptiness in his heart, until a chance encounter on the street where that familiar figure reappeared. His long-buried feelings were instantly reignited, and he couldn't help but chase after her, only to find Yu Yongqi filming a commercial. Even after all these years, her smile remains the same, youthful and radiant, effortlessly captivating his entire soul. After years apart, Xiaoqi realized he had never truly moved on. He broke up with his girlfriend without hesitation and began pursuing Yongqi once again. He borrowed Zhang Fang's Land Rover to pick her up from work and spent all night gathering job listings from fashion brands for her, because he never forgot that her dream was to be a fashion designer. Under the seaside lighthouse facing the vast ocean, they shouted at the top of their lungs, venting the years of pent-up worries and stress. It was as if they had returned to those carefree days of youth. In the heat of the moment, Xiaoku could no longer hide his feelings, but as he leaned in for a kiss, Yongqi's expression shifted and she fled in a panic.